Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of Confidence Culture Conversations. Coach Kirubai, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm excited for you for tomorrow.
Tomorrow? What's happening tomorrow?
What's happening tomorrow? Somebody's going to have a big birthday.
Yay! Talk about milestones. Yeah, so
Yes.
the big 4-0 tomorrow. Let's go, let's
Mm.
go.
Any
Yes.
nice plans for celebration?
Well, I might be doing afternoon tea.
Oh, all right, go for it. But please book.
Yes, it's been booked. It's been booked. So that should
Okay.
be interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited, but I think more excited on a reflective perspective of what the next journey of my life is going to look like. It's just chapter 30 is finished.
Yeah,
And
I'm sure.
now
I'm sure. Yeah.
on to the 40s. So yeah, excited.
Mm. New things are happening. A new phase in life, a new stage, a new journey.
Yes.
So you will definitely see what you were doing in 30s when you cross over to your 40s, you will see a difference. You will see a positive difference. And
Yay.
I believe it's going to accelerate you to another level.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Amen. Yes. Thank you. No,
Uh,
I'm excited and looking forward to what the next decade is going to look like. But
yeah.
yes, how
So
have you been, Kirubai?
been good. I've been good. It was a very surreal week for me. But it was good. It was good and very reflective. I went for a women's enrichment day uh, to a to a to a satellite church from
Ooh,
KT, and it was
nice.
nice. It was nice meeting new people, very multicultural, just a stone throw away, 20 minutes drive away from home, and it was nice meeting different people, women, different. There's different stages in life, and what that part of the world is doing. It was good, and we had great speakers, and of course the most important subject that everybody is talking about is women and menopause,
Oh
well-being. So it's really up my alley. I love that subject. So I was attentively listening and learning, and it was great.
That's good. That's good. And do you know what? I think one of the great things about going to events is yes, there is learning, but there's also the powerful opportunity to connect with different people, which
Mm,
is really good.
hmm. Yeah. So you did something on the weekend?
I did on Friday. It just dawned on me as you were talking about yours. So on Friday we were in Maidstone
Mm-hmm.
for the Revival Awakening conference. It was an interesting day. It was a full day. So we
Mm-hmm.
literally dropped Janaya off for breakfast club. So that was like 7:30. Instead of the usual drop off of 8:30, we dropped her off at 7:30 and then got a train to Maidstone and we were there till the next day. Yeah, we were there till the next day because we had we had workshops in the morning, keynotes in the afternoon, and the gala in the night. So
Nice.
yeah, but connected with some amazing people as well, which was really good. I think that was one of the highlights, the connections that were made in the room. And we also had opportunities to pray with some people, which was really good. So I think it's great when we can take our faith outside of the four walls of church and
Mm.
actually bring our faith to the marketplace, bring our faith to the different spaces that we find ourselves in on a daily basis. So it doesn't have to be a Christian event for you to say, actually, can I pray with you?
Mm.
And if someone's happy for you to pray with them, yes, you go ahead and pray with them. So, like, just being open to doing that when the Holy Spirit leads you to do it, which was really good. So yes, we had a great time, made some connections, and actually interacted with some people who want to come for my event in just under 2 weeks. So that was really good. So hopefully you'll get to meet some of them as well.
Oh, great. So are you going to share your flyer?
I should, right? I should, but
I,
it's not going to show up properly in here, but I'll share it anyway. So on 6th of December, the Dare to Believe Women's Gathering is taking place. It's going to be in Waterloo. It's an opportunity to come together, pray, worship, listen to the word, and have some food as well. So there'll be opportunities for you to have conversations, because we don't often realize how much our conversations can impact. It doesn't have to be someone speaking on a stage to impact you. Just a one-on-one conversation over some food can bring a lot of impact. So I'm really looking forward to it, and just looking forward to the women who will be coming, and just, yeah, helping them to encounter God, but also to learn more about themselves and how they can go out and walk in the authority God has given them. So if you haven't registered, go on
yes,
my page, get the details and
I
register.
have to register too. I'll be there. I'll be there. It's going to be a full-on day for me.
Oh,
I've got
yes.
a, I've got another um, event to go to, but you know what? I've said yes to you first, so I'll be there.
Thank you.
I'll be there. I'll be there. So yes, I'm looking forward to it. And you know what? Talking about connection and collaboration,
Hmm,
it's so important that we learn to work together with other people, because their
definitely.
strength could be your area of weakness
Mm-hmm.
and your strength could be their area of weakness. So bringing two strength and weakness together, you can cause and you can bring forth that 100% to work
Yeah.
together.
Mm,
And a lot of us like to do things solo, but this day and age, collaboration is the way forward.
mm. You're doing a collaboration sometime this week, Kirubai. Do you want to tell us a bit more about that?
Huh. On Friday, yes. So I'm doing um, something on online on Zoom, because we were struggling to get a venue.
Okay.
So we thought, okay, instead of not taking up this opportunity, we might as well do it on Zoom. So we're doing. Let me go to my. Let me say the right things, because let me address the event properly. It's called Radiance Redefined Makeover. So
Ooh.
it's I'm collaborating with Nana, who is a beauty consultant, and I'm bringing the aspect of color and how color can build our personality, our style, and our character and nature, how it has an effect on our colors. So we're doing something. It's just about an hour, 15 minutes, and it's going to be on Zoom, where we um, going to collaborate and bring forth. She's going to bring. She's going to talk about the colors of the season, Christmas
Okay.
around the corner, all the glitz and shimmer. And I'm going to bring the aspect of why color is so important in our lives. So
Mm.
that's a collaboration. And it's on Friday. It's at 8 p.m. on Zoom. Anybody interested in getting the Zoom link, please connect with me, or even Elizabeth. So that's what's
Absolutely.
happening this weekend.
Yay. Awesome. 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 So, do you want to lead us into today's conversation?
Okay, let me go to the flyer that we posted on Facebook. So, as many of you know or might know, that Elizabeth and I are certified coaches from John Maxwell's.
Mm.
So, we are very happy and always looking forward to using our our founder, Dr. John C. Maxwell's materials to bring forth confidence, to bring forth empowerment in the areas of self leadership and global leadership, corporate leadership. So, this very important subject is he talks about the four principal reasons why people change.
Mm.
And it is very simple. Why do we change from one phase to another? And there is a great reason behind it. And this is the four reasons that we are going to discuss. And I'm going to just state the four reasons. When when people hurt enough and they feel pain, the pain motivates and it's a catalyst for them to share and bring change to other themselves and to others.
Mm.
Pain is the key word here. Pain. When you have pain, it's like turning your pain to passion.
Mm. Pain to purpose.
Pain to purpose. Yes.
Mm.
And the second reason is when people see enough, they are inspired, and with that inspiration, they want to change themselves first before
Mm.
they touch lives. The third reason is when they receive enough, they are able to support. When you have so much you have received, you're bursting in the seams.
Mm.
You just want to flow out. No, there is a response that comes naturally to you. You've received so much, you want to flow out into the lives of other people. And the
Mm.
fourth reason is when you learn enough, you can empower others.
That's good.
So when we have learned so much from the Maxwell's teaching,
Mm.
and because of what we have learned and what has been imparted to us, that we are able to empower others. So, so change is inevitable, change is intentional, change, we're always talking about change, change into your purpose, change and take your passion to another level. Change is self-motivation. So let's break it down, Elizabeth. What are your thoughts about it?
Change is one of those things that we're not always so comfortable with. Some of us are more comfortable with change than others. You know,
Mm-mm,
you can go to a place of work, and when they implement change, you can see the different reactions. Some people will embrace it. Some
mm-mm,
people will be like, oh, why do we need to change? We've always done things this way. If it's not
mm-mm,
broken, why are we trying to fix it, kind of thing. And so we
mm-mm,
all have different attitudes to change. But I think if we want to be successful, if we want to grow, if we want to be people who make impact, then we have to be people who embrace change. And we also have to be people who are intentional with change. So just because something is not broken, it doesn't mean you can't evaluate it and make changes, right? It doesn't mean that you can't make it smoother, so to speak. So change is to be embraced if we want to be people who grow, if we want to be intentional with our growth, because when you are growing, you're changing.
mm.
And if we look at it this way, like, change is all around us. Every day we are changing. Something about us is changing, whether we like it or not. Change that is induced and change that is not induced, right? It's always happening around us. But I always say, better is the change that you induce, so to speak, or that you're intentional in making. Don't wait for situations to force you to change. You see the need and make the change. You get the inspiration and make the change. Don't wait for life to force you into a corner to the point that you have no option but to change. Change while you still have options. So, if you want better for yourself, start to grow yourself. Don't wait until you've hit rock bottom before you decide, actually, now I need to change. No, 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 no.
I like that rock bottom. But you know what? My story is different.
Mm,
It was because the pain I went through in the young my younger days that I had it, it's I had two choices whether I'm going to be stuck in that rut
mm,
or to cross over and embrace change.
Yeah.
But that pain was the greatest catalyst in my life
Mm.
to want to embrace the change. So I had to lead myself. I never thought I would be a coach, Elizabeth.
Look at you
I
now.
most of the things that I started learning, it was for myself.
Mm.
Being a image consultant, it was for myself first. And then I said, why not? I make it a business, come off it.
Mm.
And going into John Maxwell's was one of the biggest blessings that I had. It gave me a different perspective to life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pain was my catalyst. Can't run away from that.
Mm. Mm. I think for a lot of people, pain becomes a catalyst, or pain becomes the reason or the trigger for change.
Mm.
We can't take it anymore. We've had enough. And so something must change. A lot of people leave jobs because the passion is not there anymore. They've had
Mhm.
enough. Like, it's not serving them in that season anymore.
Mm.
Sadly, some people leave relationships for various different reasons. They're
Mhm.
looking for a change.
Mhm.
So, and I say sadly, but actually in some cases it's not sadly. In some cases it's you need to leave because it's not safe here. you know um the event we went to on Friday, the organization that runs it is called UYG, so Unleash Your Greatness. And they are based in Maidstone, but they serve women who have been through domestic violence,
Mm.
women who have decided enough is enough. We want
Mm.
change, and so sometimes life has us in a space where we are forced to change. And then also sometimes we are in a place where life is just, it feels normal, right? It feels, I don't know how we can define normal, but life just feels smooth. But there's something deeper that's pulling you to change. I look back to when I left my job, for example. I didn't have to leave my job, but purpose was calling me.
Mm.
And so I knew I needed to make the change. So the sometimes the change is inspired by something deeper that's tugging at you within, or an inner voice that's saying, now is the time. Your time is now. Go strike while the iron is hot. Go now, make this move. So so change can I think our inspiration for change can come from different places. And I like what you say, that for you it was that pain that pushed you to make change. And sometimes we are blind to the
Mm.
pain until we get very desperate.
Mm.
We're too comfortable in a place that we know we need to change, we need to move from. But because we are comfortable, or we lack the knowledge for how to implement change, we stay stuck in that place.
I think it's comfortable. Sometimes it's just our feelings are so numb,
Mm,
we can't feel anymore. So it's status quo in our lives. So if someone out there who's going through some struggles and pain, and you feel very numb,
mm,
and that is a dangerous place to be
yeah.
because you do not know whether you're coming or going.
Mm,
So take stock, stop, take stock, and see what you want in life.
mm,
It's very important because I was in a place where everything was numb. I didn't know what was happening.
yeah.
There's no one to talk to. At least there's a lot of awareness now. Yesteryears, there was no awareness.
Mm,
So for someone out there, if you're feeling numb, it's not a good place to be. And if you want to speak to Elizabeth or myself, reach out to us.
Yeah.
We're happy to encourage you and happy to share our side of
Mm.
the story to encourage you.
That's not a good place to be. A
Mm.
place where, things have gone numb or you feel numb. I think that's a clear sign that change needs to happen.
Mm.
Um, I I like to think that one of the other reasons why we need to be consciously aware of when change needs to happen is when we're in a place where we're not thriving, like there's no life,
Mm. But
and for some of us it might be that the friendship circles you're in
mm-hmm,
need to change, and they need to change because your season has shifted.
mm-hmm,
So the company you keep is not feeding you for where you are or where you're going.
mm-hmm,
So change needs to happen. For some of us, the things that you are pursuing will be the things that force you to change. So, what are you pursuing? What is your biggest burden? What is the change you want to see? Because if there's a change you want to see out there, then you need to start to be that change.
if you're not taking the step of faith
Hmm.
to want to change, this is something else I discovered. A lot of us who have children, our children look up to us as role models.
They do.
And and when we can, till the cows come home, you tell them, change, change, don't be like that, don't be like that, don't be like that. And yet we ourselves are not changing.
Mm,
So there is a domino effect here going on. So children see what the parents are doing.
mm.
So if you want your child to walk in purpose and in destiny and they are passionate even from the young age, you need to change. We need to change. Follow the leader.
So what you're basically saying is that us making the decision to change can impact generations.
Of course. Of course.
Mm.
You're stuck in the mud and you want your children to change? No way, Jose.
What do
You're a
you need
parent
to
yourself, Elizabeth.
Mm.
Janaya is constantly looking at you and Tunji.
Yeah.
Even I am very cautious when I'm with Janaya because she will tell, Auntie Kirubai, you're not right. You can't stop her from saying things.
You do have a point. You do have a point. And I think one of the things that should inspire us to change then is the impact and the effect it could have on the people around us.
Mm.
You know, so let me use an example. If you're someone who is very negative in the way that you speak, whether it's in the way you speak about yourself or the way you speak about situations, then that negativity rubs off on people. You can tell when someone walks into a room, and from their language or from the statements coming out of their mouth, you can tell, and people don't want to be around negative people. So if you don't change, you will find yourself in a situation where you're saying, hang on, I thought I had friends, but actually I have no friends. Or you'll find yourself in a place where you think that other people are the problem, but actually you're the one that needs to change. And those words that we speak can impact people around us.
I'm going to
So
throw another spanner. Sorry. I don't know.
go ahead.
I'm having go at this. We are women of faith. We come from churches,
Mm,
and we also see churches where the leaders, they want their congregation to change, but in secret they're doing all the rubbish.
mm,
And now's a day, a lot of these things are happening.
yeah.
Nothing is hidden except to be revealed, and it will come up,
Mm,
and it's going to have a negative effect on the congregation. Why do we follow Jesus? Because he is and was a good shepherd,
yeah.
sinless, blameless. So we follow him. So yes, we go through disappointments with wrong leadership in church, but let's not be disappointed because our leader is Jesus,
Mm.
who will lead us into paths of righteousness. So I don't know why I plugged this in, but I had to.
No, but you know what? I think you do have a very serious point there, because sometimes in church we're reluctant to change. We're reluctant to make changes because we've done things this way. Why should we make changes?
Mhm.
And when I think about leadership, I also think about how we can be stuck in our ways. And because we're stuck in our ways, we are resistant to change, or we are hesitant to change. And because we are hesitant to change, we are not seeing the harvest that we could be seeing, or we are not seeing the fruit that we could be seeing. Sometimes we're stuck in, this is the way, this is the way that it has always been done, so it's the way we'll do it. But actually, there are seasons we go through and God is doing things in a new way. And if we don't change to align ourselves with the new way that God is doing things, then we miss the point. You can look at sort of the example of, if you have a leadership team that is full of the older generation, and you're leading a ministry or a church, and you want to have multi generations in that ministry or that church, then it has to also reflect in the leadership. And I'm not saying that you just put people in leadership for the sake of putting them there, but actually you train them up, and then you listen to their input. You give them a place on the table, give them a seat on the table. Sometimes that's what change looks like. Change is not, I know it all. Change, the attitude of change is, I am willing to learn. But if you sit on your high horse and say, I know it all, this is how I've always done it, so this is how it will be, nothing here changes, then we might have a problem.
Flexibility.
Mm.
Change, change brings flexibility to us, the way
And
we think.
we can even apply this in relationships, in marriages.
Yeah.
We as individuals are constantly changing. As you go through different seasons, you change. Your love language when you got married might not be your love language 20 years later, because you're in a different season as well. And so we have to make room for change. We have to leave room for change. We can't be rigid in our ways. And that's why I like the word you used, Kirubai, flexibility. We have to be flexible in the way that we do things, in our mannerisms. When you get married, it's two families coming together, two individuals from two separate, places, families, cultures, uprooting and coming together, fusing together. So that you have to allow room. You can't say, this is how I've always done things, this is how I will remain, I'm not changing. Well, you're not ready for marriage then.
Ooh,
Yes, because in marriage you will have to change. And then when children come, that brings
another
another
change.
element of change there. And you have to be able to adapt to the changing seasons, the changing environment, changing body. You have to be able to adapt.
I like that changing body. Oh, that's constantly changing. Yeah. Yeah. Adaptability. I love that word. To be humble enough to adapt, to embrace, and to assimilate into someone else's family, someone else's ideas, and not say, I know everything, you know nothing. So it comes back to, even the change in relationships.
Mm.
And I'm sorry to say, a lot of women, mostly we address women in this platform. A lot of women are not married because they go with the shopping list and say da 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 da. Oh, one thing is missing out of that list. I don't want to accept that guy. And this morning I was coaching someone, and which I just zeroed in on the same issue. But don't go with your shopping list.
Mm.
And case by case, take it to the Lord and say, Lord, what do I do with this situation? Because probably we need to change first before the situation changes.
Mm.
That's the spiritual part of it. So can we move on to the next point, Elizabeth?
Yeah. No, we can move on.
Okay. So when you've seen enough, when you are so inspired, you want to embrace it and inspire others. So there could be a career change in this matter, or you can have corporate job and work on your passion
Mm.
till it yields. Like both of us, I think we just jumped into it. But some people are a little bit more sensible. Yeah, I was not sensible, but you know what? It was all a learning game. But I think you can always side by side with your corporate job, then you can transition into your passion.
Mm.
So that can inspire us to embrace our passion completely, because we have got enough to give to someone else.
Mm.
So here I would plug in my story, because I was so fed up with my finance job. It was not stimulating me enough.
Mm.
Without thinking what would be my next step, I gave in my resignation. And in finance, sometimes you have tunnel vision because you just want to do that. So I came out without any skills.
Mm.
So it was difficult, but yet God was faithful. Yet God was faithful. I was, I just took the bull by the horn and started working on myself to do, and that turned into my whole career now. My
Mm.
creative side. I tapped into my creative side. So tap into the things that what you love to do. You will never get bored.
I like that. I like that. I'm going to use the word passion.
Yeah,
Don't ignore the
okay.
things you're passionate about. See
Yeah,
how you can align them and turn your passion to profit.
yeah.
When you were speaking earlier on, I was reminded of how you can go to an event and you can be so empowered, so inspired. And if you go away and take immediate action, that is change. Make immediate changes because you've been so impacted, so inspired, like the fire has just been set alight in you. You go away and you just know that things have to shift, change has to happen. And you know what, it reminds me also of when someone gives their lives to Christ, and it's like, ooh, change. The change happens on the inside, but the change that's happening on the inside becomes an external change. And you start to realize that you're changing, your mannerisms are changing because there's a work going on the inside that you have submitted to. And so
Mm.
change is happening. You were you were inspired, you were touched, you were blessed by whatever you heard. And that inspired change.
And that attracts people to you, Elizabeth,
Mm,
because you're so on fire.
yeah,
That fire that sparks. People are attracted to what is so different. What's sticking within this person? What is going on? And they would come and ask you,
that's
what
it.
is that light that shines upon your face?
Mm.
So I'll quickly say, oh, would you like the same light? There's a potential client there.
That's it. That's it. Hi, Sadie. Thanks for joining us on Facebook. So I met Sadie at the event on Friday. She was one of the panelists. So thanks for joining our conversation today, Sadie.
Hi.
So yeah, I think when it's like when you're in a space and so much comes upon you that you're just inspired to change, right? You hear so much that you're inspired to go away and take action, to go away and make a change. And that change can inspire others. Sometimes we might not realize, but the change that we are making is having a positive impact on others and is also causing them to make changes in their own lives.
Mm.
So you might be focused on making a change for you, which that is great. Make the change for you. But I'll also put it to you that that change you're making for you can positively impact the people in your circle, the people around you.
Yeah, so true.
Hmm.
So inspiration, you're inspired to inspire others.
There you go.
So coming to knowledge, you have knowledge coming out of your ears that you want to impart, to empower someone else with the knowledge that you have got. There are people who constantly do courses after courses after courses after courses, and they can't bottle it down. They want to share.
Hmm.
So some of them are, you know, coincidentally or accidentally jump into being coaches. They become coach. They coach others and encourage others from all the learnings that they have got, all the knowledge that they've got. And
Hmm.
that knowledge is power, actually. It empowers someone.
Knowledge is power, but if we don't apply knowledge, then we don't have the power.
Yeah, that's true. So application is important. So when there is application, change comes.
Yes.
So see how change it ties up to everything that we do.
Hmm.
So knowledge is power. And this is a saying that goes, nothing comes for free. There is an investment that you need to make.
Hmm.
It's either your time, your character, your personality. There is an investment that needs to be made for this change to happen. So
Hmm.
for those who are struggling with some issues in their lives, let me plug this in. There are qualified coaches like ourselves out there who can help you transition from that stubborn attitude that you have or we have together from one place to another.
Hmm.
If you do the same thing the same way, you're going to get the same result.
Hmm.
So you want if your result is something that resonates within you, results that brings changes, then with mindset and proper coaching, you can attain that. somebody spoke into our lives for us to be who we are today.
Mm.
You can be of any age. We all need someone to mentor us and coach us time to time.
Very true, very true. And you know what? Sometimes it's just about having somebody that helps you to navigate the change, helps you to navigate the transition you might be going through. You know, I recently started doing some gospel coaching with an organization called City to City. Um, and one of the highlights about this coaching is it's geared towards church planters, it's geared towards church leaders. And the I guess the central point of the coaching is that you bring God into the picture, like God is constantly in the picture, and He's at the center of the coaching process. But what one of the reasons why I mentioned this is because through that coaching, for example, it's specific to helping church leaders, church planters navigate through the vision that they're working with, through the mission that they're trying to accomplish, you know.
Mm.
And so you might be listening, and Kirubai has mentioned about coaches and mentors, and we all need somebody. We all need somebody, you know. So it's about finding who is that person for you, whether it's a mentor, whether it's a coach that can help you get forward, get to where you need to get to. Because some of us, we verbally process as opposed to internally processing. And that's where a coach also comes in handy, because they're listening in and they're asking you the right questions to help you to come up with the answers. But we are all going to have to go through one change or the other. But you don't have to navigate change on your own.
Mm.
If there is support, if there is help, reach out for it.
Mm. And invest in your lives.
Mm,
Invest in your lives. Because as we approach 2026, there is a tough world out there,
mm,
and build yourself in resilience and to face the tomorrows that we're going to have in 2026.
yeah.
Sometimes needs a lot of help. Yes, we have God on our side, fine, but God also places humans around us to
Mm,
reach out and ask for help. And this is the greatest investment that you can have in your life:
mm.
knowledge, education, coaching.
Yeah, and the way I would actually put it is investing in growing you.
Mm.
Invest in growing yourself, because as you grow yourself, you can better serve the people around you. As you grow yourself, you can rise to the next level that God needs you to be in. But if you never grow, it's most likely that you're just going to remain where you are. You know, when I go to schools, one of the visualization exercises we do with the kids is, imagine you have three doors in front of you. Door number one, nothing ever changes. So if you never make any changes, your attitude doesn't change, you know, you don't put in any more effort, like your life remains the way it is. Would you be pleased with that? Like, what do you see behind that door? Door number two is the worst case scenario. What's the worst thing that could happen to you? What's the worst thing that could happen? Is it something you want? What do you see behind that door? And door number three is the best case scenario. So you make the changes you need to make. You change your attitude. You change the way that you're doing things, the way you're going about things. You change your environment. You change, you know, the people around you. You basically you approach life in a different way. And we put the question to the students, and we're like, which door would you choose? Which door would you like to go through? And oftentimes they would say, we want the door where it's the best case scenario, the best version of myself. And I'm like, that's good, but you have to be prepared to put the work in. So you want that life? Be prepared to put the work in. You want a particular vision, or you believe God has given you a vision? Be prepared to put the work in to make that vision come to life. Because guess what? God is not going to come from heaven to do all the work for you. You have to do it. He works through us. He works in us and through us. So we have to embrace change. And I think for those who are faith-based, we're faith-based, and God is constantly changing us, I think. Or we're the scripture says that we're being transformed.
The renewal of our minds.
We're transformed by the renewing of our minds. And there's the scripture that also says we're transformed from glory to glory.
Glory to glory, yeah.
So there's change, like we're always being made better. There's a transformation that is happening. So we have to be people who embrace change. We have to be people who adapt to change, whether it's changes around us, because remember, also society is changing. The way things were done 10 years ago, the way things were done 50 years ago, is not how they're being done today. There is technology. Look at how technology has changed in the past couple of years. A few years ago, we didn't have AI. Now we have AI. When you tell kids that once upon a time we had a landline that had to be attached to the wall, and you had to wind it round, they don't understand that concept. All they know is smartphone. So change is happening every day all around us. So we need to be able to embrace change.
I mean, landline. It's still hilarious. I know a lot of kids ask, "What's this phone all about?" It's so funny. Yeah, we grew up having a phone like that. That shows how old I am, Elizabeth.
Well, I already revealed my age, Kirubai, so hey.
Yeah, so many things new technology. Every minute of the day, it's changing. And there's so much of competition, um, so much of knowledge of learning new things. We in the corporate world, to better ourselves from one stage of our, what should I say, the hierarchy, going up the ladder. Every time we go up the ladder, there is a change coming. But in between those things, we are also learning, right? So this is in the corporate, in an organization. What more that we as individuals have to bring this, a part of our hearts, to change, to embrace. I keep saying to adapt. So it's inevitable. We cannot run away from it. And I like the scripture that you shared. We change from glory to glory. So God is patient with us.
Very patient.
He walks alongside with us. He walks alongside with us and says, I take your hand, put your hand in mine, and I will help you. And we as human beings love to resist this. That's where the pain comes. So do not resist. Just resist the devil and he will flee from you. But don't resist God, and the nudge, the gentle nudge that he gives us, say, give your heart to me. Give your heart to me. Give your heart to me. I want to turn something beautiful, turn you into a beautiful masterpiece.
That's it.
Yeah. He's molding you, shaping you. Yeah, I love that word. We are his workmen,
Mm,
created for good purpose, good things
mm.
in efficiency. We are his masterpiece. So yeah, so don't resist change. That's something that I want y'all, whoever is listening to this, to keep it. Do not keep it. Do not take it offensively, but take it reflectively and embrace change.
Yeah, I like that. Embrace change and also look for opportunities to change. Look for opportunities to change. And this comes with reflection, being able to reflect on, how did I do? Could I have done better? Well, what do I need in order for me to do better next time? Be somebody who implements change, change for the better. If something is not working, if something is not producing the results you wanted to produce, implement change. Don't be afraid to learn. Don't be afraid to learn. Learn something new. They say that um, one of the things we can do for ourselves is to do something that scares us every day. Like do something that scares you. That's part of change because you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. Let's not be afraid to grow because when we grow, we are more impactful. When we grow, we can better serve the people around us. And that's making change. That's making change. I want to grow. So I impact my next generation. And then they impact the next and the next. And it flows. Legacy, right? Legacy. So make the change. And I love to say, be the change you want to see.
Mhm.
Because sometimes we point out the wrong things around us. We point out this needs to change, that needs to change, that needs to change. But actually, when we look back at the fingers pointing at us, what needs to change? Do we need to change? And so, if we need to change, don't be afraid to change. And sometimes change takes humility. It takes laying down yourself. It takes putting down ego. It takes just get rid of the pride and say, actually, maybe my way is not the best way. Maybe my way is not the right way. Let me ask for help. Or let me do it the way that they suggested, but I ignored. You know how sometimes they say, husbands, listen to your wives. Your wives are always right. And sometimes the husband will do something, and as the wife, you want to say, I told you so, but you don't want to say, I told you so. But it's part of change. Change means laying down your pride. Change means being humble, and when 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 we speak of change, honestly, the biggest change that I'm reflecting on is a change when you accept Christ, right? When you say yes to salvation, because it's life changing. It's a life changing decision. So I don't know if you're listening to this and you're looking at yourself and thinking, well, what needs to change? Take some time to reflect. Kirubai mentioned like the end of the year is we literally Christmas is in a month, Kirubai. It's 25th today. So in a month, we'll be at Christmas and we'll be counting down to end of 2025. Crossing over into a new year. Don't take the same old you into 2026. If you don't want the results you got in 2025, you want better results, then be intentional about making change.
Amen.
Any final words, Kirubai, before we shut this
Yeah, I mean,
session?
I wrote this down. I thought it was wisdom may guide, brokenness may push, inspiration may pull, and support may enable. Together, these focus sharpens and shapes our transformation.
Can you read that again, please? For those in the back, in the back of the building that didn't hear.
Wisdom may guide,
Mhm.
brokenness may push, inspiration may pull, and support may enable. Together, these focuses shapes and sharpens our transformation.
There you go. So say yes to the transformation that needs to happen.
That's right. So, ladies and gents, that's my last final word today. Many, many reasons that we need to change.
Mm. And we mentioned this earlier on, but if you are watching this and this has triggered something for you in a good way, in a bad way, I don't know, but it's triggered something for you, please feel free to reach out to us. Let's have those conversations. Whether it's that you even want us to pray with you, we're happy to do that. But make the change that you want to see. You desire change, so implement the change. Don't be afraid to implement the change. Take a step of courage, take a step of faith, and make the change. In the Bible, we hear of the lady with the issue of blood. She was tired of her situation. She wanted a change. Because she wanted a change, she was not afraid to push past the crowd just so she could touch the hem of Jesus's garment. She wanted change. And that change provoked her into action. And did she get change? She got a whole life transformation. Jesus literally says, your faith has made
Has healed you.
you whole. She was made whole. So she had her 360 transformation. So I don't know what change you need today. But I pray and I hope that that change will provoke you to take some action that will bring about the transformation that you desire. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Please like, share, subscribe. This is on Facebook, it's on YouTube, it's on LinkedIn. So share the link with somebody else. Let them, listen to this. But don't hesitate to reach out to us if you need to have a deeper conversation. But thank you so much, and God bless you.
Night.
Good night.